We're at Backyard Bike Shop. We're dismantling the Caledonia and we're going to be fitting onto it 105 Di2. So basically what we're going to start with is weighing all the random parts that were on it before, try and get an idea of what it's like weight-wise. So the battery, 61 grams, plus the junction box, that's 70, yeah? Plus this is all the cables, which is not going to stay together. 107 grams.
Magic.
107 grams. What's the chances of that? I'm going to write this down so we've got a record of it. Ultegra 11-speed rear mech, 251 grams. Front mech, 130. Brake calipers, 281. Caps for defense. This is kind of hard to do now because of the cables. 360 grams. These are GRX Di2 shifters, so they're not Ultegra shifters, but they're GRX Di2. Dura-Ace power meter. Things to include on this: a magnet. 695. I think that's kind of all of the old stuff. That totals something. So the bit that's interesting with how the newer 12-speed stuff is so all of the power and like the gubbings is run from the rear mech. Although this rear mech, for example, is going to weigh heavier than the Ultegra rear mech, you have to negate the fact that you don't need the junction box anymore. So to put that 105 rear mech on, it's 300 grams. So the previous one was like 260 or something. Like actually it's not that bad when you bear in mind that that's all the cables and like that is where a lot of the mechanics are coming from with this group set. Front mech's 138 grams. So the new batteries are slightly different to the previous ones. 52 grams. Same weight. So looking at the weights, actually the 12-speed Di2 seems to be weighing pretty much the same as 11-speed Ultegra. There's not much in it really. It's quite nice. You get an extra gear. I guess like doing this at an electronic group set at 105 level is to try and compete with rival. Yeah.
All the brands are moving away from cables.
Yeah.
There's no cable stretch, no corrosion. It just works. It's easier. I know there's people that have been riding for years and years and years, love their cables and never had issues, but new people to cycling, like Rob over there, got his first group set electronic and then we took him back to super record 12 speed, which is a mint group set, and just didn't get on with it. Likes pressing buttons. So.
I'm going to acknowledge that it's still quite expensive for a third tier group set, 105 Di2 is, but it's bringing that technology down to a more competitive price point.
So
we're going to put it on the bike. we've taken the old group set off this bike, which was a mix of Ultegra Di2, a Dura-Ace crank, and GRX Di2 shifters, which is a real mishmash, one of them, of parts. So we stripped it all out and switched it over to Shimano 105.
Or 10S.
Or 10S. Shimano 107-2. So this is 12-speed group set, trickle down technology that's come from Ultegra and Dura-Ace. The building of it seemed very, very similar to the other 12-speed group sets. It's basically a battery in the seat post, and there's a cable which runs from the MECH together to the seat post and the battery. Shifters are wireless, so there's no like cable from here that's going all the way in the frame. And to be honest, it seemed pretty straightforward in terms of, I wasn't doing it, Nick was doing it, but it seemed pretty straightforward in terms of the fit and the build onto it. The build quality is obviously not to the same standard as like a Dura-Ace or Ultegra group set, but it actually, I personally think, looks really, really good. Maybe like it's a bit more plasticky in certain points, like here and here, and less metal, but actually in terms of how it looks aesthetically, I think it looks fantastic. I actually think this looks nicer than the Ultegra crank. Weight-wise, everything maybe is a little bit heavier than the previous Ultegra group set, and the Dura-Ace crank, even with the power meter, was lighter than the 105 crank. But generally speaking, the weights were pretty similar. There wasn't much in it at all. And you have to bear in mind that certain things are different in the sense that with the newer group sets, you have less Di2 cables, you don't have a junction box, all of the brains are done in the rear mech, and the cables are also a lot smaller. So weight-wise, actually, it's not that different. I'm gonna ride it around, and we're gonna sort of come back and visit this and actually talk about how it is to ride and how it is to use day to day. But in all honesty, I think it's going to be pretty good. Like, feels great. Looks like a fantastic group set as a entry option in electronic group sets from Shimano. Please like, comment, tell me a story about Nick. Could be anything you want, and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.
Bye, Chris. See you soon. Bye, Jack.
I hate doing those
Does
things.
anybody like give Jack kudos, you know, behind the camera over here?
He's done
all
it.
the hard work. Bye.